Hello viewers, I'm Dr. K. Sarojini Chakravarti, Assistant Professor, the Department of Botany, Government Degree College, Khairtabad, Hyderabad. Today in this class, we are going to see in detail about the last organ culture, reproductive organ culture, that is embryo culture. So what you see in this picture? So these are the seeds of groundnut, that is groundnut seeds, and the groundnut it belongs to angiosperms dicotyledons, and when the seed breaks open, you can see two halves, that is two cotyledons. This is one cotyledon, this is second cotyledon. So one of the cotyledon, it consists of the embryo. Aseptically removing this embryo and culturing it in vitro conditions, it develops as plantlets. So that is known as embryo culture. So what do you see in this picture? So here the seed is there. So seed contains the embryo. So the seed coat, micropyle and hilum. This is a lateral view of a seed. And when you open the seed, just now we have seen the groundnut. When you open, you have seen two cotyledons. As it belongs to dicotyledons. So this is one cotyledon, this is another cotyledon. But one cotyledon consists of embryo. So embryo, it consists of both plumule and radical region. So the radical region is nothing but the root primordia, and the plumule region is nothing but the shoot primordia, that is epicotyle. This is the mature embryo parts. Now this is another picture which shows the tiers of embryo. So you have the two cotyledons. This is the growing point of root, that is radical, and this is the growing point of shoot, that is the plumule, and this is the seed coat. So this is one of the cotyledon, and this is embryonic root. So this is the same thing. We'll see a little bit history of embryo culture. So before going with a little bit of history of embryo culture, we just will know what is this embryo. So in angiosperms, embryo, it represents the beginning of sporophyte. So normally the fertilized egg or zygote, it undergoes embryogenesis in the post-fertilization stage within the ovule, and thus an embryo is formed inside the seed. The typical seed embryo is a bipolar structure consisting of a contrasting meristem at each pole. That is the primordial shoot, that is shoot primordia or the plumule, and the root primordia or the radical, and one or two lateral appendages, that are the cotyledons. The mature embryo, it possesses the basic organization of an adult plant. During seed germination of a plant, a plant is produced through progressive and orderly changes of the embryo. So like any other plant organ, even an embryo can be used as an explant, and it can be cultured aseptically in vitro conditions on a nutrient medium. So this is the basic information why embryo was taken as an explant, because it develops into a plant. It consists of both the regions, that is the shoot primordia and the root primordia, which later on develops into an adult plant. So that's why even embryo can be taken an explant, and it can be cultured to produce plantlets. Okay, now we'll go with the history. So embryo culture was successful by, for the first time was done by E. Hanning in the year 1904, and he has obtained viable plants from mature embryos of two cruciferous plants, that is Raphanus and Colchleria, that were isolated aseptically and grown on a mineral salt medium supplemented with sugars, that is carbon source. After that, during 1913 to 1917, four scientists, Dubart, Urbain, Buckner, and Castle, studied the role of endosperm in the growth of embryos by separating the latter from endosperm, or by decotylating embryos and plating them in nutrient solutions. In the year 1924, Dieterich, for the first time, he introduced the term precocious germination, which explains the malformation of seedling raised from the embryo of immature seeds in vitro. Later on, Layback in the year 1925 first described zygotic embryo culture for interspecific hybridization. So this is one of the important application of embryo culture technique. Later in the year 1953, Laroux successfully has grown embryos from dicotyledons, monocotyledons, and even gymnosperms. During 1941 to 42, Van Overbeek, he discovered that small Datura hybrid embryos could be grown in culture where the media was supplemented with coconut milk. So this is the history of embryo culture. After that, many scientists, they worked and they have given a lot of importance to this embryo culture, where the information was provided on the nutritional requirements, the growth factors, differentiation, and the application part of embryo culture in vitro conditions. Now, what is embryo culture? The embryo of different developmental stages, as we studied, like it starts with globular, torpedo, next heart shape. So different stages. It goes in a progressive way, in an orderly way. Formed within the female gametophyte, is isolated aseptically from ovule, seed, or capsule, or cultured in vitro conditions under aseptic and controlled conditions in a nutrient, whether it may be a solid or a liquid medium, to grow directly into plantlet. This embryo culture, it was divided into 6 categories. So there are 6 different categories of embryo culture, and each category has its own objective. So the first category is culture of mature and intact seed embryo. So the aim of this study is to analyze the various parameters of embryonic growth and metabolic and biochemical aspects of dormancy and germination. So this is for this reason, for this objective, this category was was incorporated in embryo culture. The second one is culture of surgically dissected embryo. The mature seed embryo can be dissected surgically into a number of segments. Such embryo segments, which are cultured to analyze the relationship of different parts of the embryo to its final form in culture. The third one is culture of immature embryos or proembryos. So what is a proembryo? The globular and heart-shaped stages of embryo are called as proembryos. So proembryos are nothing but the early developmental stages of the embryo, which precedes cotyledon initiation. So the main objective of this culture is to understand the control of differentiation and the nutritional requirements of such progressively developing embryos. The next category is culture of intact seed containing undifferentiated embryo. As we know, the orchid plant fruit develops several thousand tiny seeds, which are which contain morphologically undifferentiated embryos. And these embryos, they lack both radicle and plumule. So note root and shoot primordia. Even there is no storage tissue in the seeds, and there is even the seed coat is reduced as a membranous structure. So for this reason, the entire seed of orchid containing undifferentiated embryo is cultured, and it is treated as embryo culture. And we know that the seeds of orchids, they require a proper fungal association to germinate, otherwise they will be perished. As a result, numerous seeds are lost. But through this in vitro embryo culture, orchid seeds are employed for orchid propagation. So this is one more important aspect and application part of embryo culture. Next is culture of adventive embryos from polyembryonic seeds. So mostly polyembryonic seeds we see in citrus fruits, that is lemons, oranges, etc. So in polyembryo, how it happens is the zygotic embryo is produced from egg cell, as we know. But sometimes even additional embryos are produced from nucellular tissue in polyembryonic seeds of citrus plants. So such additional abortive embryos can be exploited through this culture for clonal propagation. So this is one more application objective of embryo culture. The last is culture of non-viable or abortive embryos. So culture of non-viable or abortive embryos, even this we have seen in ovule culture, especially in plant breeding experiments. Interspecific or intergeneric breeding experiments will be done, and through this, when the process was unsuccessful, they develop or they produce non-viable or abortive embryos. As a result, the non-viable seeds do not germinate normally, but it is possible to raise a or to develop a hybrid plant by this embryo culturing of these non-viable embryos in vitro conditions. This is the picture which shows the 6 categories of embryo culture. The first one is, this is the culture of this is the culture of adventive embryos from this is the culture of adventive embryos from polyembryonic seeds. This is the culture of mature and intact seed embryo. And here this is the culture of dissected embryo. So this is the 2 cotyledons, and here you can see one of the cotyledons is attached with embryo. Okay, so here we have dissected this embryo, and this embryo can be cultured. Next, this is the culture of immature embryo. Nothing but the pro-embryo stages, that is heart-shaped and globular stages. The next one is, this is the culture of undifferentiated embryo of orchids. So orchids fruit contains many tiny seeds. So this is the fruit of orchids. This last is plant breeding experiments. So the culture of abortive or non-viable embryos. So through that also we can culturing can be done. So this is the picture which shows all 6 categories of embryo culture. Now we'll see the principle of or principles of embryo culture. So embryo culture does not have only one principle; it has many principles. I explain why. The principle of this method is the aseptic excision or removal of the embryo and transfer it to a suitable nutrient medium for the development under optimum culture conditions into plantlets. So this is the basic embryo culture principle. And it is relatively easy to obtain pathogen-free embryos. Why? Because where embryo is present, embryo is attached to the cotyledons. Where cotyledons is present, it is surrounded by surrounded by a seed coat. Okay, so embryo is it is present in a sterile environmental condition of the ovule or a seed or a capsule or a fruit. So when you dissect or remove this embryo, no need of doing any surface sterilization of the embryo. So it is not necessary, as it was present, surrounded by in a intact position. So no need of requirement of any surface sterilization. Thus, the entire seeds or fruits containing the ovule or they have to be surface sterilized, and the embryos are then removed aseptically from the surrounding tissues. This is in general, but if the seeds have a hard seed coat, so sometimes seeds have very hard seed coats, then what you have to do? So seeds with hard seed coats has to be generally surface sterilized, and they have to be soaked in sterile water for a few days aseptically, so that the seed can be cut easily to free the embryo. Though the seeds are surface sterilized, again, before embryo excision also, twice we have to do this surface sterilization. Next, splitting open the seeds and transfer the embryos to the nutrient medium directly. And directly, it is the simplest technique, and that can be done with seeds. Next one is, if you have a so smaller embryos, then how we have to do? In the isolation of comparatively smaller embryos, it is very important that they are to be removed intact carefully from the ovule without any injury. So this we have to keep in mind while doing the, while we are taking out the smaller embryos. This can be achieved in a best way by carrying out the operation under a specially designed dissecting microscope. But what is the case of orchids? In orchids, the seeds are very tiny and they are very small. So in the case of orchid seeds, the entire seed or ovule is cultured because the seeds contains morphologically undifferentiated embryos without having any, lacking no storage tissues, that is no endosperm, and the seed coat is also reduced to a membranous structure. But so here, although the entire ovule containing undefined embryos is cultured, but it is referred to as a embryo culture. That we know. Okay. So after that, next important principle what we have to keep in mind while going with embryo culture is, the most important aspect is the selection of the medium. So it is very, very important for the sustaining the growth of the embryos. So the formulation of nutrient media may vary depending upon the species that we are selecting and that we are using for a study. The younger the embryo, the more complex is its nutritional requirements. So young embryos require different combinations of vitamins, amino acids, growth hormones, and in some cases, natural endosperm extracts such as coconut milk is added. Okay, along with sucrose, which is a carbon source to the medium. But the mature embryo can be grown in an inorganic salt medium supplemented with sucrose as a carbon energy source. So here we does not require the requirement of many nutritional additions, just like young embryos. But when you come to pro-embryos, okay, the pro-embryos are submerged in the ovular sap under considerable osmotic pressure. Culture of such embryo in presence of an osmoticum such as mannitol is often suggested. Monnier, he's a scientist. He devised a culture method which allows for the uninterrupted growth of globular embryo to maturity. So as I said, different stages of embryo. By this method, embryo can be grown in both solid and liquid media at the same time. Monnier also devised a culture method. Okay, and this is, the composition of both, whether it is solid and liquid, they are different. They are not the same. Monnier also stressed, he also stressed the importance of obtaining uninjured embryos with their suspensor for successful culture. Why? Because suspensor is important for the growth of immature embryos. But embryos selected at later stages do not require their attached suspensor. So in culture, the embryos are not induced to form callus tissue, but they are allowed to form a plantlet. After the embryos have grown into plantlets in vitro, they are transferred to sterile soil or vermiculite, and they're grown to maturity in the greenhouse. After that, they are transferred to the natural environmental conditions after hardening process. Now we'll see the protocol of embryo culture. So this here the protocol of embryo culture is, here we have taken the plant Capsella bursa pastoris. So this is the method adopted for this plant, and with slight modifications, this basic protocol is applicable to any kind of plant species in general to conduct this embryo culture. Now the first step of embryo culture technique is, as the Capsella plant, it consists of capsules, not the fruit. So we have to take the, you have to select the desired stages of the capsules of development, and they have to be surface sterilized for 5 to 10 minutes in 0.1% mercury chloride, and then they have to be it has to be done in laminar airflow cabinet. And you know why we have to do in laminar airflow cabinet, as it provides the aseptic conditions. Next, we have to wash these capsules with sterile water for 3 to 4 times to remove the traces of mercury chloride. The third step is we now we have to take the help of a specially designed dissecting microscope. Why? Because we have to in a aseptic condition we have to remove the embryo very carefully. So that magnification of the microscope should be around 90x. Now the capsules are they're kept on this dissecting microscope, and this dissecting microscope and which contains a depression slide, means which has a little bit depression or a groove in the slide, and we have to place a little bit a few drops of liquid media in that groove. Later on, very carefully we have to remove the outer wall of a capsule, and when you remove the outer wall of the capsule and we have to cut in the placenta region, then ovules will be exposed out. Then a small incision, means incision is nothing but a cut. A small incision in the ovule is followed by slight pressure with a blunt needle is required to free the embryos. So to make the embryos to come out of the ovule, what we have to do is we have to put a small cut in the ovule, and we have to press the ovule with a blunt needle so that all the embryos will be they'll be exposed out. Next, the excised embryos, the removed embryos are to be transferred by micropipettes or a small spoon-headed spatula to sterile petri dishes which contains a solidified medium. So we have to place around 6 to 8 embryos in a petri dish, and they have to be cultured. The petri dishes are to be sealed with a sellotape to prevent desiccation of the culture. Then the cultures are kept in a culture room with a temperature of maintaining the temperature of 25 degrees plus 1 degree centigrade for 16 hours, and it is illuminated by cool white fluorescent tube. Then the cultures are subcultured into fresh medium after 4 weeks of time. After that, then after subculturing, then they are transferred to the greenhouse condition, and from there they are, when they are adapted themselves to natural conditions, they are transferred to the natural environmental conditions. Now this is the picture which shows this is a capsule of a Capsula species, that is Bursa pastoris, and we have to, after surface sterilization under a dissecting microscope, special dissecting microscope, we have to remove the outer wall, and you can see exposure of these ovules. Now these ovules, as I said, we have to put a small cut in the ovules, and we have to press with the blunt needle. Then all the embryos will be exposed out, or they will be coming out of the ovule. These embryos, they have to be placed in either in the petri dish having a solid media, or in the test tubes having the liquid media, and culture them for 16 hours. Then after 4 weeks, they have to transfer them to subculture to another fresh medium, and then you can see a regeneration of plantlet. So this is the protocol of embryo culture. So this is in general. But sometimes in case of fresh seeds or a dry and imbibed seeds, what we have to do? There will be a slight change in the protocol. So here the seeds has to be cleaned by 5% TPO, that is liquid detergent, for 10 minutes. Then wash them properly, dip them in 70% ethyl alcohol for 60 seconds. Then surface sterilize them with 0.1% mercury chloride, and followed by continuous washing with sterile or distilled water for 3 to 4 times. Then the seeds are decotylated using a sharp scalpel, and embryos are transferred to solid nutrient medium. This is in the case when we are taking a fresh seeds or dry seeds, or imbibed seeds. Now we'll see in the case of orchids. In case of orchid seeds, after following the regular surface sterilization procedure, the fruits are excised and the seeds are dusted gently and they spread over the medium. Why? Because the seeds are dusted, because the seeds are, they're very tiny, they're very small. So that's why the fruits, we have to take the fruits from the fruits, we have to dust the seeds. That's all. Dusting of seeds will be done. So these are the three different protocols adopted. The first one is in general with slight modification. The second one is for fresh seeds or dry seeds or imbibed seeds. The last is for orchid seeds. In the next class, we are going to see, we continue the class with the two objectives. One is precocious germination embryo in culture, which was given by La Roux in the year 1938, and we'll see what are the applications of embryo culture. I hope this class has given an insights of embryo culture, its principle, history, and protocol. Thank you.